Hello Virgo, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for December. Now what I'm going to do is give you some key strands, and then please stay with me. I will dive deep to give you the detail. This month begins with Neptune, the planet of dreams, in your sector of relating going forwards on day one. That's something to really savour. Also, Neptune forges a great link to Jupiter for the first 2 weeks of the month, so that's very helpful to you as well. A new moon on the 4th suggests some reorganisation on the home front, maybe even moving altogether, certainly making your home or family world work much better for you. But the standout influence this month for you, Virgo, concerns Venus, the planet of love and affection, which is connecting to Pluto, the planet of power, all through the month. And they actually come together in an exact conjunction twice, on the 11th and Christmas Day. So that's really exciting. It is true, however, that when it comes to that desire for escapism and variety, which has been so strong since Uranus moved into your 9th house, that is going to agitate with another part of your nature which prefers the status quo, because Saturn and Uranus are back into conflict this month, and that comes up to a peak on Christmas Eve. But with Mercury, your ruler, joining the 5th house of your situation, followed by the Sun on the winter solstice on the 21st, this can be a very social time for you. So please stay with me. If you would be so kind to subscribe to my channel if you've yet to do so, please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see the link beneath this video where you can subscribe. I've been writing these for over 25 years, and my work's used by the British Press Association and Britain's leading daily newspaper by readership, the Metro, to get yours for free too. And finally, we're just on the cusp of that new year. If you'd like to know what 2022 holds for you on a personal level beyond your zodiac sign, based on your time, date and place of birth, you can order your forecast and get the rest of 21/3 plus a character analysis plus 30% off. Please see the link below. So welcome Virgo to your December monthly forecast. Neptune going forwards on the first day is something to really savour, because since the 25th of June you may have been a little bit confused about certain relationship situations. Jupiter, the planet of growth, is also forging a semi-sextile to Neptune for the first 2 weeks. So it could be a connection with someone through your work, or even a spiritual person, or some kind of healing concept is really inspiring you around someone's support, encouragement, or it could have a more romantic dimension, but it's very possible that it could be around something else, that you just feel that sense of connectivity in such a special way. Now, as this month begins, the Sun and your ruler Mercury are domiciled in your 4th house. This is very much to do with where we live, how we live there, who with, the structure of our domestic lives, our need for physical security, but also our emotional needs as well. So that is very much to do with how we relate, our feelings, family matters. And on the 4th, there is a new moon in this sector, but it's linking very helpfully to Saturn. Now Saturn may be in a bit of a dust up with Uranus again this month. That started to repeat itself at the end of November, and it's been the most dominant influence of 2021, and it could mean that your style feels cramped a little bit if you have got a lot of obligations and responsibilities, a difficult job, and your sense of freedom is in some way impinged. But Saturn on the new moon is very supportive. It helps you to bring that very methodical discriminate inside of your nature to bear in a very helpful manner. So, for example, if you're planning for Christmas and you're wanting to get some last minute decoration done, or you're rearranging your home in order to create extra space, perhaps to work from home, Saturn supporting the new moon in the 4th house is a real good influence, providing uplift to you over the following month into the very start of the new year. Now also, as December begins, Mars and Pluto are in a very strident, supportive angle to one another. Mars is in the part of your horoscope to do with everyday communication. It's been giving you a lot of ability to share how you feel with enthusiasm and passion. But it's linking with Pluto at the start of this month, the first 10 days, in a way which, if you have someone that you're drawn to romantically, this is going to give you a bit of a push to reach out to them and tell them how you feel. If you're a creative Virgo, this is fabulous for really feeling very motivated and driven towards delivering on your talents. But on the 11th, Venus does come into that exact conjunction with Pluto. And the reason that Venus is in such an extended journey through the sign of Capricorn is the retrograde, which begins on the 19th. But this is your 5th house. The 5th house is about joy. It's about romance. It can be about children if you have them, but the conjunction with Pluto, which is about power but also transformation, is very, very potent. It could make you extremely conscious of a person in your life that you have strong feelings for. Equally, it could make you extremely aware of someone who's in your life that you don't have strong feelings for. So it's one of those aspects that's not binary to one direction or another. You know, it is capable of being positive and more challenging. But by the 13th, your ruler Mercury moves out of that introverted 4th house and into the very outgoing 5th house. It may be in the earthy Capricorn, but for you, your sense of humour can really start to bubble away. And when it comes to joining in with the Christmas festivities, this is a great change. On the same day, however, Mars moves into your 4th house. So if you are physically moving or changing something where you live, this gives you a lot of drive in the following 6 weeks. On the 16th through to the 21st, the Sun in your 4th house also links very, very well to Jupiter. Now, they're mutually receptive because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. The sign of Sagittarius and Aquarius share commonalities. They both love freedom. Jupiter in your 6th house points towards maybe feeling a lot better in yourself physically. It's possible a job could be offered. Maybe it would give you the flexibility to work around your home and family life well. But that for those 4 or 5 days, a real slice of fortune linked to your home or your family or your work are possible. Now on the 19th, we do have a full moon. This full moon is just reminding you that although you may be quite focused on the needs of your home, family, emotions, there are still things to be mindful of on the professional front and your worldly interactions. So that work-life balance, that classic cliche that's so often used these days, that can be something that you're grappling with over the following 2 weeks. And of course, if you are someone who works in some kind of service or support role, that might be your normal experience at this time of year. But also on the 19th, Venus does slam on the brakes and go into that retrograde. But it could mean that if you meet somebody new, you're just perhaps going to really think very carefully about whether what feels very delightful and flirty and alluring, whether it could actually go deeper. The Sun's move on the 21st into your sister Earth sign of Capricorn is lovely. It's the winter solstice. It signals the beginning of the last 13 weeks of the astrological calendar. So this is known as the cardinal quadrant, the last of 4. So an important date for you. But if you have been, caught up on sorting out those domestic, emotional and family matters, now you can really start to to feel much more playful and want to let your hair down a little bit. Now obviously we're all going to be constrained to some degree or another by the rules and regulations in whichever state, territory, country that we live in. But the 24th does see Christmas Eve, Saturn and Uranus clash. So they're exact that day. So this is a peak, the third peak of the year. There was one in February, one in June, and now this one. So if it really does feel that you're having to be very sacrificing and your freedom really is being impinged, a sense of resentment could come up. But also this is a time, obviously, in the year when sacrifice is also very useful. And on the 25th, on Christmas Day, there is that beautiful conjunction repeated between Venus and Pluto, but this time it's in retrograde. So if you did meet someone earlier in the month, you're going to know by Christmas Day whether it is for real. But I don't think if you encounter someone, it's going to be something that you take lightly at all. In fact, in the early part of this month, there is a beautiful link between Neptune, Venus and Pluto, and therefore Mars, because of the great link that there is between the 4 planets in the early parts of the month, week 1. So I think your romantic potential is definitely boosted hugely by this conjunction, but I think what's really going to inform your decision is about how it feels. But once you get to the 29th and Jupiter moves back into your sector of relating, it was there from the 15th of May to the 28th of July before returning to Aquarius, you're going to get the absolute answer of whether this can gain traction and really go forwards. But some kind of deep connection, emotional or physical attraction is entirely possible. And you know, even if something is much more fleeting for you personally, I think it will be memorable. This could turn out to be one of the most romantic Christmas times you've ever had. And if you're someone who's a little bit sceptical about whether that can happen for you, remember the 5th house is also about sociability, which for us has been very limited over the last couple of years because of COVID. So even if you don't find or discover that person that really meets every need for you, I do feel that you can have a joyous time with the people who do provide the uplift in your life. So I hope you have a marvellous time. Wishing you a very happy Christmas and New Year, and goodbye for now.